Hey, Miami sports fans. Stop by Caneswear today at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. And check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to caneswear.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Caneswear today.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when
all right, as always, Dolphins number one, baby!
So fins up to all you guys. Thank you for doing
I just want everybody to remember, we may not always agree on everything Miami Dolphins, but there's one thing we do agree on. Is we are all Dolphin fans. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Fins Talk. I'm your host, Steve Malloy, and joining me, as always, my partner in crime, Rob Mosley, a.k.a. Dolphin Thirsty. And we have a special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, we have two. One is in the background. You can't see him. He's hiding from us. But we have the one and only Shake Money from Finn's Tailgate and Crypto, also from the Finn's Tailgate. How are you both of you guys doing tonight?
It's another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Pretty good.
I hear you. I hear you.
Another day in paradise.
Great, great. Hey, guys.
Love the song. I've been trying to get Andy to sing it.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. I really do.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Well, thank you for having me on the in the blender, Shake. I appreciated that. I enjoyed that very much. I've never, as I said, I was a little nervous, had some butterflies in my stomach. I've never done. You were the first interview, actually. You were my first interview that I've ever been interviewed before. So it was great. And you made me feel at ease and very comfortable and just had a great time. But before we get started, I want to make mention. I want everybody to remember, right? We are all may not always agree on everything Miami Dolphins, but there's one thing we can agree on, and that's we're all Dolphins, ladies and gentlemen. So before we get started, number one, Rob, what do you got going on your network, Dolphin Thirsty?
Just all things Miami Dolphins, as always. Talking NFL draft. My next show will be Thursday morning. Talking NFL draft, getting ready for that night, seeing who the Dolphins would take, and just fun, man. There's all stuff Dolphins. If it's about the Dolphins, I will talk about it. That's basically. I don't do a script. Whatever comes from the heart. I talk past Dolphins, current Dolphins, and in the NFL draft season, possible, potential, future Dolphins. So we try to cover it all. And then every Monday, Doll, aka Courtney, better known as Doll on social media, she has a show on my channel 7. But now they moved it to 8 p.m. every Monday night.
All right, good stuff. Shake. Let me know.
By the way, I like going to Throwback Thursday, especially getting under Michael K's skin.
Oh yeah. That is
what's funny is he talks about how we missed the playoff. We haven't had a playoff win in 23 years. Every time he's in there, and has the nerve to say, "I repeat stuff."
I know. You're right. You always repeat right. You haven't won a Super Bowl, and then he said, "I know." It's just. I don't know why. He just loves it. Hey,
give him a break.
He gives the stuff, though. Maybe you're going to come in tonight.
He's an older guy, man. Give him a break, So, Shake.
Today, TD called them the dynasty of Super Bowls of not winning.
Is that what he called the Buffalo Bills?
Yes, the Bills, the dynasty of not winning Super Bowls.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey guys, Shake and Crypto. Tell me what do you guys and I'll start with you, Shake. What do you guys got going on at the Fins tailgate? And then I know you have an up and coming show that has started, right? If I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and tell us what you guys got going on over there.
Well, me and Crypto, I'm Shake Money. He's cryptocurrencies. So we Crypto Dolphin. So we call ourselves the Currency Connection. And what we have is for the late night hours, what we do is we do a pre-recorded show, Insomnia. This is covering the whole NFL. We do pick'ems. Hopefully, you guys will join us. One of the days,
Yeah,
during
you guys can
the season.
come on.
So we do pick'ems, and then
Sure.
we go against each other. So we'll probably do currency connection versus YouTube, and at the winner, bragging rights, for bragging rights. But and then of course on the tailgate, we're going to be covering the draft Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we're going to be doing a live episode of Insomnia at 2:00 in the morning. Do a recap.
Whoa.
Sunday at 2:00 in the morning. So.
All right. All right. Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate
Real
that.
quick, same here, guys. Fins Talk Sports Network will be covering the draft every day. Go between the two. There's not competition. It's friendly. We will feed off each other. Watch both of us. On Bobby has all of us being ours over the weekend too. So make sure you tune into both channels.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fins, that's the Fins Talk Sports Network, and the whole gang will be there. The whole Fins Talk Sports Network at one time or another in time slots will be on for the draft, for full draft coverage starting on Thursday, running all the way through Saturday. So come join us out here. We've done it. This is our second year doing it, I believe, right, Rob? Is that correct?
I think they did it even before you and I. I'm not sure, but I think
they did.
I don't know if they did every day before. This time they went from the first pick to the last pick last year. So
right,
and it's what we're doing again.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so Shake Money. I kind of feel like I didn't give you a fair answer. You asked me a question in the blender about Bob Greasy, comparing the comparisons between Bob Greasy and Tua Tagovailoa. Well, here's what I'll say, and I'm gonna put the spotlight on Bob Greasy. Number one, Bob Greasy, of course, they're playing in is a whole different era back then. A lot of receivers were getting bumped and run and pushed on the ground, and it just more physical. And quarterbacks had to throw in tighter windows, right? Most of the time. But he had a very, very high IQ, football IQ, very intelligent. He was a great leader on the field, a great game manager. He managed the whole game. And I mean that literally, because Don Shula and the coaches gave him the full responsibility. They gave him the keys to the city. He actually called the plays. He actually called the plays in the
there was no mic.
There was no mic. He actually called the plays. So, it's not like, and there was a great discussion between Steve Young and Tom Brady some time ago here, a month or so past, where they were discussing this about the new era, the quarterbacks, and how a lot of them they don't have the vision of the whole field. They're going to their first, second reads, and then they're going to have to basically improvise from there. So they're not calling the plays, and a lot of these quarterbacks are not even doing audibles. They're not even audibling the plays at the line of scrimmage. So that's the big difference in the quarterback of that era in the 70s and 80s as well. A lot of those quarterbacks were calling their own plays. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you know what? One thing my teacher brought up the point that the fact that Don Shula was the last coach to not wear headsets. If you look at if you look at the 85 Bear games, neither him or the Bears coach didn't wear any headsets. The only people that wore headsets were the OCs and the DCs.
Yeah.
Don
Absolutely.
Shula, and in '96, his last year, you cannot find any. I tried looking. You cannot. If you look at every year on him on the
Yeah, he
sidelines,
did. His
he
coordinator
never
told
had
him,
wore
yeah.
headsets.
He went up to his coordinator, yeah. You're right.
Never
He
wore
had his ball
headsets.
cap starter jacket and he just went from there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting. Wow.
He was masterful. He commanded the lines too. He didn't even, everybody was on page.
Yeah.
That's what made him last so long.
I
Yeah.
You
know.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody
Absolutely.
Joe
was
Rose.
in sync. Everybody was
Yeah,
in
Joe
lockstep with him.
Yep.
Put it
Joe
this
Rose had
way.
a great Don Shula story today. He said they were playing a game against the Cowboys way back when Danny White was still on the Cowboys.
I
But it was
remember him.
it was still a critical 3rd and long, and Joe Rose he went up to get a ball. He didn't catch it, and he said he admitted, he goes, yeah, I should have caught it, but he goes, I came off the sideline, Shula was ready, he was like, damn, Joe Rose, you want to be on the team? You got to catch that damn ball and whatever. So he thinks it's finally. He goes, after about a 1-minute rant, I figured it's all done. Then the Cowboys go out there, and some freaking guy on the Cowboy goes up and make a one-handed crab on a critical 3rd down, and then he shoot again. He starts saying, "Where's Joe Rose?" and all the players. He said it was like the parting of the Red Seas. Everyone's basically saying, no one wanted anything to do with Joe. That's how you play football. So he goes, man. He goes, that guy had to go make a catch, and then he goes, and then film study the following because we lost the game. So the Dolphins lost. And he goes, man, that film study the next day, he goes, it was so brutal. I was like afraid to go in. I need to change a pair of underwear.
Yeah, man. They don't make coaches like that anymore.
Yeah,
they really don't. They really don't.
I love his Don Shula stories.
Here's a Don Shula story. After every game in the 70s, they had the Don Shula show on TV, local television.
Channel ABC at Monday nights.
Yes, they had the Don
They did
Shula
the good,
show.
the bad, the ugly.
Exactly. What a great show that was. And he always had, two or three players on, and they talk about the plays.
Jimenez was
all
a
that kind of
co-host,
stuff.
by the way. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a great show.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And yeah, I remember. Like I said, I'm sorry that you threw me because I used to love that show. That's one of the reasons it's kind of a semi reason why I became a diehard Dolphin fan, because I remember it was filmed in Don Shula's Steakhouse Monday nights on Channel 10, and I know Jim Manich was one of the co-hosts. Him and Jim Manich. I can't remember who the other guys were, but
yeah,
I remember
Chuck Dowdle, who's not even around, and I don't know, but Chuck Dowdle was one of them.
I think he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. But Chuck Dowdle used to be the guy. So that was good TV back then.
Yeah, it was. It was real. It really was. Those were the days where you used to have to get up from your seat and change the channel.
Yeah, you actually had to get up and change the channel. The UHF and VHF, right? And people will know about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got to go way back there. UHF, VHF channels at the bottom.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when the TV got a little blurry, you just go smack the side of it to get a better picture.
Or put some aluminum foil on the antenna.
I did that many times. Yep.
Yeah.
Those were the days, man. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about a few things today. One of the first topics I wanted to get into was it's I don't know, man. This guy, Tyreek Hill, man, he's always putting his foot in his mouth or something, one way or the other. And I know a lot of folks, yeah, but a lot of folks, they get upset with me. A lot of folks that that I've talked to, and they're like, "Why you always want to bring up Tyreek? That's none of your business. That's his business." Well, then, damn it, don't talk about it. Don't open your mouth if you don't want us to talk about it. You're on one of the hottest podcasts, biggest podcast, like top 5 podcasts in the whole world, and you're talking about Mike McDaniel, right? Of course, people are gonna hop on that, man. But here's the thing, and Shake, I know you brought this up. You put that clip up on the Twitter. And it was on Omar Kelly. Now, Omar Kelly, everybody in here knows. By the way, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you please hit that like button for sure. It's free. That would help us out a lot. But appreciate you guys joining us tonight. I see you all in there. Aladino, Flava J, Scotty's in there. But just appreciate all of you. But anyway, so what I was saying is he, Omar Kelly. Everybody knows Omar Kelly, right? And I don't agree with everything he says, but I definitely agree on this point that he made. And basically, he was saying, you got to take everything Tyreek says with a grain of salt. Okay, he's in there in the locker room and all that kind of stuff. He's been a beat writer with the Miami Dolphins a long time. I mean, he says he was saying that you got to take you can't believe everything. In other words, Tyreek embellishes a lot.
Yeah,
because no freaking way Mike McDaniel, all right, no one Mike McDaniel is gonna go up to Tyreek and tell him, "Hey man, we pay you a lot of money to play." And all this kind of stuff. Come on, man. He didn't say that. I don't believe that for one iota. How about you, Shake?
well, it's how look. This is how and I'm not mad at it because at the end of the day, what happened was if you look at what happened with Terran Armstead, brought about him crying. So I all I think is in his heart he was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to do a little PR damage control. Just like when he first came into the league, he never caught a ball from Tua, never seen Tua in person.
I know.
And he said he was the most accurate quarterback he's ever played with. So at the end of the day, I think he was just trying to do a little damage control and help out McDaniel because he thought maybe his image was tarnished after that Teron Armstead. Now he's looked at as a crybaby. So he's like, no, pump the brakes on that. He's actually a no nonsense tough guy. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was just trying to do McDaniel a solid, and I don't think anything's wrong with that, in my opinion.
I got you. Crypto, how about what's your take on that?
I just say it's a bunch of off-season mumbo jumbo. You don't know whether he's coming or going. Sometimes Tariq, I'll describe it this way. He's like the guy who looks at himself in the mirror and goes away and completely forget who he looks like. But
that's a good one. I like that.
It's more like, okay, he's going to say something. He might be intentionally doing it to stir up conversation and talk. And then another one, he will indirectly say something, not realizing he's going to stir up conversation.
Right. Right. Yeah. I got you. That's good points. Very good points. Rob, how about you? How do you feel about that? And before I get your answer on this,
you guys,
I will
can you guys hear me? I had a phone call come in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I hear it.
You weren't finished.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it was it's basically, it's just one of those things where it's the height of the all season minutia, and he's the most outspoken guy on the team. So it's definitely he's a magnet for attention, given the player he is on the field.
Gotcha.
And anytime he opens his mouth, it's going to be magnified even more.
Yeah.
Especially
No, I agree.
if it says something that's sideways and nobody can believe, or say something that everybody wants to believe. Depends on what size of the spectrum you're on.
Right. And I agree with that. And thank you for that answer and your points. Very good. And before I have you answer, Rob, here's what I'll say real quick. Man, if McDaniel did that, I'm all for it, man. He needs to hold his players accountable, and I'm all for it. If that was the case, I love it. I love to see it. I love to hear that and see it. But Rob, what's your take on that?
Not kind of what Shake said and Crypto, a little combination. Like Crypto said, just off-season banter everything gets blown up because people are so starved for anything Miami Dolphins related. So anything he says is going to get blown up. But like, I don't mind whether it happened, didn't happen. We're not there. We don't know. We weren't in the locker room, so we really don't know. But at worst case scenario, it's like Shake said, he's did it to back up his coach. And and to me, that's fine. It's a good thing by Tyreek to do that. So that's basically it. And just like anything in Dolphin social media, things are going to get blown up. So,
Oh,
and that's how I
for
look at it.
sure.
Shake had it the best way,
Yeah.
and he may have said something, but maybe not. And maybe he just embellished it a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's massive for the embellishment game.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
he's
To me,
very
I have
he's
no
clever
issue.
with doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care if Hill made the total thing up or it really happened. Either way, to me, it's not big news.
I
It's
got you.
all good.
Gotcha. Well, I've got to bring it up because he
Oh
he
no, it's
he put it out there. I know it's not big news, but it is news. He
yeah,
put it out there for us to grab a hold of, take it and run with it. So that's what I did.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
so let me ask you guys this now. Now that we have the draft coming up here on Thursday. It starts. But what I do want to ask you is, based on the um, players that the Miami Dolphins have acquired in free agency, um, do you think that the team is got better, got worse, is the same, or And I know it's hard to put that into perspective right now at this point, but what do you all think? Do you think that they've gotten better with the free agencies, and who do you like in free agency that we acquired? Who was the pick that you like the most? I'll start with you, Shake. Then we'll go to crypto, and then back to Rob.
Well, I'm gonna go NA because at the end of the day, last year I had more of a definitive answer because there was more chemistry, and I
Mm-hmm.
seen the for the majority of the team was put together from the previous year, so you knew you're gonna get another year of continuity. You were gonna get a great defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio. You're gonna get year two into the offense of Mike McDaniel. So you had a better gauge last year versus this year. You have a new defensive coordinator. You got
Mm-hmm.
a defense that really, for the most part, maybe one or a few pieces
Mm-hmm.
that have not played together. So there's no continuity there. You don't know how a team gels until they actually you see them gel. You know what I mean? You could
Right.
guess,
Right.
but
Right.
at the end of the day, even the defensive coordinators don't know. So I'm gonna put an NA until I see it. So but as far as
That's
defense,
fair.
I think they really didn't make any slight upgrades, but they didn't make any downgrades. So I think we're as far as free agents concerned, I think we got in some good fillers, and I'm excited to see what Anthony I forgot his last name Weaver
Weaver. Mhm.
brings is going to bring to the table.
Right. Yeah. Me too. Me too. How about you, crypto?
I'll say this. I'll add a little fun to my analogy. In Greek mythology, you have to go across the river Styx, and you get on this little canoe, and they have to gift you across there in order to make it to the other side of the underworld, or Hades, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like we're in that dimension where
Yeah.
we don't know what's on the other side. Like
Yeah.
Sheikh said something about we knew year two of McDaniel and experienced defensive coordinator in Vangio.
Mm-hmm.
There's the unknown when it comes to that defensive coordinator that's brand new. This is kind of going to be his first full gig as the actual play caller, calling shots. Because what he did in Houston, he had a bag of groceries and was expected to do something with it, which he didn't do too well with. So this
Right.
is kind of like his first full
Yeah.
shot at being a defensive coordinator, if you want to say, say that much. And then
Right.
we got a collection of players that we don't have continuity with. So in that voyage to the other side, it's just kind of like it's a in that aspect where
Mm-hmm.
the jury's still out. We're still waiting. We have more of an unknown than we did of a known. So for as far as on paper, I want to say we went sideways as far as the talent.
Okay.
As far as the overall talent that
Right.
brought in, because we don't know if those guys are going to make the team that they brought in and worked out,
True.
or are they going to be, on the street? They're going to be a key piece to our finishing product that we're trying to finish out with in year 5 of the rebuild. So I think
Going
in
on
that
year
instance,
6.
going on year 6, yeah, exactly. You know, going on year 6 of that rebuild. So it's only so many administrations that Greer's going to have to toy with, to put together the pieces, the right pieces to gel together. Because
Gotcha.
you can have some cinnamon, some French toast, grits, and you can bake up the best ingredients. But if you don't have the right chef to make that set of ingredients work, then it's going to be nothing. Nobody's going to want to eat it. You know, even though you may have all the ingredients when it comes to talent, but if you ain't
Right.
got the right chef to put to know how to crack open the egg and cook it at the right temperature, it's
Yeah.
meaningless.
Good points.
Yeah.
Good points.
It's kind of like
Rob?
my wife's cooking. We pray after we eat. No,
Oh no. Well, no, if you pray after you eat, oh boy, that's not good, Shake. That's not good. Rob, what's your take on that?
Pray
You and I have
afterwards, huh?
talked about it to death, basically. You know
That's a
where I
good one.
stand, Steve. We basically say it's the unknown, basically. I mean, you and I have killed it. We like a couple
Yeah.
players better,
Yeah.
and we are going to miss a couple players, and it's
Yeah.
just, you're not going to know until, how many times in our lifetime have the Miami Dolphins been off-season winners and anointed off-season
Yeah.
winner, and then we go and we
Every
still
year.
don't win it? Yeah, every
Every
year. So,
year.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
think we
know.
won the off-season Super Bowl going on the last 30 years in a row.
I know, so
Exactly. Exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I don't even put much weight into it. Just to
Yeah,
see
maybe.
when they get there, how they play, and all of that good stuff. But we broke down Jordan Brooks. We broke down all those guys. So
Absolutely.
no
Absolutely.
reason to
And
cover. There's potential. It's not as big as a
Mm,
drop off as maybe we thought it might be.
right.
As far
yeah.
as I would go.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with you, Rob, on that point. I think there's a chance for potential. You're right, but here's the deal. Actually, a lot of these guys that Chris Greer brought in, they're only on 1 and 2 year deals, so it's not like we're stuck with them. And there's outs. There's a lot of outs with these guys. So if they don't gel, and as you brought up, crypto. We brought in how many defensive tackles we bring in? Like 20. So
Something like that. Yeah, about
yeah,
20.
Yeah, I know.
Almost a
We got
football
a
but
team.
a
whole bunch. I think
lot.
it's going to be a rotation. I have the whole
Well,
list, but
the point is it's going to be a rotation, as you said, Rob. But not all of those guys are going to be rotating in
of
that we
course, not
brought
all
in.
of them are going to make the team.
There's
So
only going to be maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe that we keep. So there's
yeah.
going to be a lot of guys going to be back on the street, working at Walmart. So
By the way, we're signing D tackles as we speak.
we're doing what?
We're signing more D
Yeah, we're signing more
tackles
D
as we
tackles
speak.
as we
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah, he said it so serious. I thought, hey, Shake
Yeah,
can
I
tell
did
the
too,
truth.
man. I never know when
Yeah.
Shake's being serious, man.
I know.
But here's the deal. You guys all 4 of you guys bring, or all 3 of you guys bring up good points. So yeah. It's just unknown right now. I don't think and again, we can't put all this in perspective because we don't know. They haven't even started their first, official practice yet. But I don't think excuse me. I don't think we got better. I don't think we got anybody that's better. I know folks would probably disagree with me on Boyer and maybe Jordan Brooks. I hear a lot about him and Kendall Fuller and all these guys. But think about this. You're saying, "Oh, we got better." Oh, maybe we did, but we had a Xavier Howard who was on the decline. So yeah, I guess maybe we could have gotten better. And then of course,
default, I guess.
yeah, by default. And then Jordan Boyer, yes, he's going to bring an element of physicality to the defense, but how much does he have left in the tank? And then we brought in Jordan Brooks. Is he again? Our starters, both our edge starters are hurt, right? Jordan Phillips and Bradley Chubb. So, is he really an upgrade from those guys or just a stopgap? But then I've got questions on Kendall Fuller, although I thought it was a good pick, for Xavier Howard, taking his spot. But we got question marks with him. 9 touchdowns he allowed when he played for Washington Commanders. That's a lot of touchdowns, man. You know, that's a lot of touchdowns for a cornerback to give up in a year. So
Hey,
those are my
Doll.
questions.
Hey, Lo-Fi. Welcome to the room.
And I see Doll's in the room. Appreciate you, Doll, for joining us tonight. She says no one replaces X. She that was her man, X. Scotty's still in there, and we got Lo-Fi. So a lot of you guys have come in tonight to join us, and appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that like button. It means a lot to us to hit that like button. It's free, so we do appreciate it. So on to the next topic I want to discuss was a little bit. I don't know if I want to talk about the draft or McDaniel for. Let's go with McDaniel. I've been pretty hard on McDaniel, but not for the reasons that a lot of other folks have been hard on him about. I've been hard on him about his holding his players accountable. Again, you know, we're not in the locker room, you know. So, but from what I've seen out on the field of play during the games, I don't feel he's been holding his players accountable. I'm a little upset about that, holding his players accountable. But let me ask you this, Shake. How do you feel about McDaniel? Do you feel that he did it? He's been with us 2 years, going on 3 years now. Do you think he improved from his first year? And what are some of his it's going to be a long question.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you think that he should, do you think he needs to, what areas do you think he can improve in is what I'm asking.
Okay.
And what areas do you think he's done well in as far as being a coach for the Miami Dolphins? And how do you like him? Do you like him? Do you not like him?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna answer the first question about the disciplinary
Sure.
part. You know, at the end of the day, look, one of my favorite proverbs that I heard somebody say is 5 + 5 = 10. 8 + 2 = 10. 9 + 1 = 10. So I say all that to say this: there are very ways to get to 10. It's not just 5. Everybody, that's the problem with society. Everybody's saying, "Oh, my way to get to 10 is better." No, the best, as long as we're getting to 10, I don't care. So if you're disciplinary, non-disciplinary, as long as we're getting to 10, that's all I care about. I think we've seen results from this coach. We had a good offense.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, is when you lose your relationship or any relationship, it's over the little things. And I say that because I think he has two alternatives, in my opinion. Either one, give up the play calling so he could be a head coach to manage the field, manage the clock, or get somebody better to do it, because we have seen that the areas that he's lacking in time management, challenges, and everything like that have been poor the last 2 years. So you either get somebody who's good at it, or you give up play calling so you could do it yourself. That's how my assessment on Mike McDaniels. But I like what he's done so far. He's had a successful offense. He just needs to make a few adjustments in December, obviously. But I think that if we could get that corrected, the collapses towards the back end, I think we have a good coach on our hands. And that's just my opinion.
All right, good. That's fair. Crypto, what's your take?
Go ahead. Say that question again for me, real quick.
If I remember it. No,
basically,
I understand you're at work. No, basically the question is, how do you feel about McDaniel? What adjustments does he have to make, or does he, what improvements does he need to make?
Okay.
I'll piggyback on what Shake said. Do you like his play calling? Do you rather he give it up, or what?
I don't know. I mean, one way or another, I don't differ one way or another, because I think his third year should be, if he feel like he's slipping, I feel that, at least have somebody. Okay, I'm back. You Somebody there, like his offensive coordinators, groomed to the point where they can hit the ground running if he decide to give full duties to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking alternate. Like for example, I think you should be preparing it. Maybe you could prepare him by say, okay, this game or this half, I'm gonna let you call the plays. The other half, I'll take over just to kind of groom him, smooth transition between him and this offensive coordinator. Or if you can
Mm-hmm.
go full cold turkey and say, hey, I'll let you just do it from start to finish. Let you run the plays throughout the preseason, training camp. And then if I feel that you're ready to go day one, then you can get the job starting out. If not, if I feel something I want to override you on, I can always do that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So either way it'll work for me. As long as you get it,
Okay.
you have some
Mhm.
continuity where you know, there's no late getting plays in. We getting delayed games left and right because y'all ain't on the same page. As long as they
Gotcha.
can be on the same page, I'm okay with it.
So communication, we need to get that
Right.
straightened out for
Yeah.
sure. I gotcha.
Communications all exactly.
So yeah,
Gotcha.
he needs a better assistant head coach because that's what the assistant head coach is for.
Well, didn't they hire somebody
Yes.
to help
So
him this year again? They hired another coach. I don't remember what his
um
title is. Do you remember, Rob?
Yeah, I forget the name, but yeah, some offensive assistant they just
Yeah.
signed
I'm not
recently.
So
sure
we
who.
Yeah, I forget
yeah
who it is right now. I'm
yeah
drawing a blank, but yeah, they just
Hmm.
signed him a couple weeks ago.
right. And Rob, let me crypto. Were you done? Because I can't see you. Were you done with your take on that or on McDaniel, or did you want to add to that?
Yeah.
Who? Oh,
Crypto.
okay.
You was cut out.
Oh, crypto. Were did you complete your assessment of what or did you want to add
Oh
to it?
yeah, I'm done.
You're done. Okay. Okay.
It's
So
Rob Everett who they hired.
Rob Everett.
I
Okay.
just googled it. I'm not a genius. I didn't recall it, but it says the Miami
Where did he
Dolphins have
come from?
hired former whatever Rob Everett, who was previously serving as a senior offensive analyst at Wisconsin, to be an
Oh, okay.
offensive assistant for the Dolphins, and that was on April 8th of this year.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
Yeah, I remembered
so
they did hire somebody to help him out with that with the offense.
Hmm.
So Rob, what are your takes on that? I mean, I generally kind of have an
I know you
idea,
know
but
where I like McDaniel. I think
yeah.
we have the potential to finally have a long-term coach here, and we will see is my favorite term. Let's just play out. Let's see how this whole rebuild finally plays out, and if we can sustain a couple of good years, get some playoff wins under our belt, and things will take care of itself. So I'm with them. I mean, every coach on the planet, people used to sing it gets Don Shula all the time, and that's before there was social media. So it's easy
Hmm.
to sing it guess. We play the result 90% of the time, like, oh, we should have ran it there when a pass fails. If they pass, oh my god,
We
and a
should have
pass
ran it.
fails, we should have
Yeah.
ran it. We should have run it.
Yeah.
Run it. You get stuffed. You should have passed it. So to me, yes, every coach in the history of football is going to have their good and bad play calls during the season. It is what it is. I do think he has the potential. Put it this way: if the Dolphins let him go, another team would snatch him up within that same. There'd be another Adam Gates, but he'd be better than Adam Gates. He'd be snapped up the first. Like the Jets snatched Adam Gates up the minute we got rid of him. But another team would snatch up McDaniel quickly. He would be off the market. So I think that's a good sign because now that he has a reputation of improving quarterbacks, and that's all these teams are starved for. Some team would snatch him up as fast as the Dolphins fire him. So to me, I think he's like he has a promise, and it's just we need consistency. We can't be firing coaches every 3 freaking years. It doesn't lead to anything. It's like starting all over again. I mean,
Yeah.
Ross has fired every coach within 3 years, other than Philbin made 3 years and a few games into his fourth year when Campbell took off. But all than that, all this 3 years and out. You can't have that, man. You need consistency. So we
Yeah.
need to keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, for the Back It Up Defense podcast.
The only thing that I was upset with McDaniel about again was his disciplinary, his holding his players accountable. I actually liked his play calling. I don't think we had a problem with his play calling. I know some people disagree with that. I think he was an excellent play caller. I just think that a lot of the times that he made those specific calls that he made, the players didn't execute, and they didn't execute because number one, I don't think he has the running backs that he needed to make some of those plays. In fact, we'll talk about a little bit about that when we go to the draft. But I think it's that, and I also think that his quarterback is limited. And I disagree with you, Rob. I don't think he developed Tua Tagovailoa. I don't think he developed him. I think he did a genius job. And what every coach should do, and a lot of coaches can't do it, is he actually made Tua better by emphasizing his strengths and doing his strengths over and over and over again. But I don't think he's developed them. I just think he's improved. Tua has improved because McDaniel said, you know what? These are your weaknesses. These are your strengths. We're going to focus on your strengths.
That's why I said getting the most out of his quarterback.
Same thing, getting the most out of his quarterback. But here's the deal. Let me ask you this, since we're on this topic real quick. And then we'll get to
I got a couple of points I want to bring up, but after you're done.
Okay. No, go ahead. Bring your points up.
Well, the thing about it is, like I said, I stressed, I never, I didn't want. I agree with you on the play calling. I don't want to give play calling, but at the end of the day, if that's going to interfere with him and the minute decisions that as far as challenging and getting plays on time, the reason I bring that up is because that quarterbacks coach we have, Darren Bevel, is a seasoned play caller. He's worked with Brett Favre, Russell Wilson. So at the end of the day, we do have a seasoned veteran, a play caller. And you know what? And as as Mike McDaniels gets better at being a head coach, he go, okay, now I've mastered becoming a head coach. I could take my play calling duties again. That's not to say give him up and give up the play calling and never take him back. But get comfortable with your current job, because at the end of the day, you are a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Once you become familiar with, like they say, master of jack of all, master of none. Once you've mastered, becoming a head coach and become comfortable becoming a head coach, you go say, you know what? I'm ready to take my play calling duties back. You know what I'm saying? He has the power to do that.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's a fair assessment there. Yeah, absolutely.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Very good. Yeah. Perfect point there. That's great. I was just going to ask real quick before we get into the draft was when I say Tua is limited, I don't mean that he's a bad quarterback. I don't mean that at all. I mean, he's proven he's a good quarterback. I just don't believe he's our franchise quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. What I would like to see is I would like to see Tua take the bull by the horns and be a good quarterback manager, game manager. Basically, seeing the whole field, making sure his players are in check. Everybody's, if they make a change, he has to recognize that. Say, oh, Armstead isn't my left tackle. I've got this guy. What am I going to do now to avoid getting sacked on this left side or whatever, So I would like to see him improve on game managing the whole game, his vision downfield, and improvision. I'd like to see him, and I don't mean running. I don't mean he has to run and like a Mahomes or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he has to just do something like maybe move over to the left a little bit, move up, throw that ball or whatever. Because if we all noticed, once that 2.6 seconds, and that's not a bad thing either, because a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of teams are going to quick passes, right? And that's one of his strengths. He's very good at quick passes. Because of his lack of arm strength, he has to get that ball out quick. Because with those two speedsters on the end, if you give them more than 2 seconds to get downfield, Tua ain't going to make the throw, man. Those guys will be too far down the field. And that's not just Tua, that's a lot of quarterbacks. But anyway, I would just like to see him improve on his game management, in reading the field and all that kind of stuff. And when his second read breaks down, he's able to improvise. And I don't know how they can do that, but that's the question I wanted to ask you guys was do you think that the John Beck, the quarterback coach, and the other two that they got, I don't even know their names, do you think that they're going to help him with in improving his game in that respect? Because Tua's got good mechanics. And once in a while it'll break down, whatever. But most of the time he has really good mechanics, so they really can't fix that. I don't think there's anything they can't make his arm stronger. So the only thing that I think they can work on is his, processing the field, the whole field, and improvising. What do you guys think? And you think these coaches will be able to do that? Shake, what do you think?
Well, yeah, yeah. Mechanics, help him with his, like I say, improve his mechanics, and I would say his game day decisions, how to prepare, how to read game film, how to
very good point.
Film, you know what I'm saying?
Very good point.
So
yes.
How to pre-snap, post-snap, and things of those natures, things that you can coach, because
game management.
We all know, there's some. I think Tua has a lot of the good intangibles that you can't coach. So I don't think this could hurt.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree. That's a great point. And that was something I was thinking of the other day. And I didn't bring it up now, but I would really like to see him in that film room, more. I mean, I don't know how much he's in there now, but he really. I have a feeling, it's just me, I just have a feeling he's not putting his all into the game film. That's just me. I don't know. Crypto, what do you think, man? What can he improve? Do you think these quarterback coaches can help him with that?
I think they can. I said this last year before he got his addition, his quarterback coach. I said he could become a better master of the playbook, because if the coaches allow you to do more audibly when they make a mistake, meaning that there's no, I'm gonna yank you out type of thing, which I don't think I was saying that Mike McDaniel would do that.
Right.
If he goes against what he think is the best play at the time and game time situation, situational awareness will allow you to have command to change the play when necessary. They're like, oh well, he doesn't have the authority, and they go with that because they don't want to put it as if the play broke down, they can easily blame McDaniel. There's an instant scapegoat because McDaniel is the 100% play caller. But if you have control and full autonomy of an offense, and that playbook in and out, then you do share shared responsibility. Meaning, if McDaniel calls a stupid bonehead plays, you should have the conus or the onus to go in and change it and deal with the repercussions after it. If you change it into something that didn't work, then deal with it at that time. Don't think that if you make a mistake, this is going to do it. Change it to the wrong play, do it, and then deal with it afterwards. Cross that bridge later, and deal with Mike McDaniel at the time if he felt that you changing it something bad or something disastrous. I'm sure if you change it to play from what he did and we score based on the play you changed it to, McDaniel's not going to complain.
Yeah,
that shows
absolutely.
me you have full mastery of the offense.
Absolutely, and
of the playbook.
Yeah, and you make a good point, because actually that did happen one time that I'm aware of, that I heard actually Tua said that he actually ad-libbed that play. Yeah, where it went to Tyreek. Yeah. So he was bragging about that. Dude, buddy, you need to do that every game, not just one game.
Not just one game out of a 17-game season.
Yeah.
Show me that you can do that. when everything's on the line, and when you know that it's a pressure time situation, when you got a hunch that this is not going to work, I'm not going to blow a timeout. I'm looking at it pre-reading, got a pre-snap reading. I got so many codes that I can signal out to everybody that's involved that we can instantly change the play on the fly and everybody know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Good points. Yeah. Yeah. I agree
yeah.
with that. And that all goes.
And the language of the playbook can be simplified to be able to allow your quarterback to do that on the fly, like a Peyton Manning, like Marino, or
Yeah.
anybody that
Yeah.
had full control of the playbook.
Right.
The
Right.
offensive coordinator still calling plays. McDaniel's still calling plays, but if you feel that you're in a jam, sometimes quarterbacks got to bail out coaches. Coaches can't always bail out the quarterback.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And I think y'all make some good points. And I think that if he can improve just those three things, right? Very critical improvements. If he can improve those, man, this offense is going to be unstoppable, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I really believe that. And like I said, I give Tua a bunch of crap, but I give him the crap when he deserves it. When he has a bad game or whatnot. But I think he's a good quarterback.
Yes,
Um,
he is.
and if he can
That will be
improve
his
that,
next level.
yeah, it will
Hmm.
be his next
His next
level.
evolution.
Exactly.
Get total
Exactly.
command of the offense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Crypto. Rob, I know I kind of have an idea what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I don't. You know where I stand on the whole Tua thing. He's our quarterback. As long as they wear the aqua and orange, I root for him. He's on our team, so there's no reason for me to talk until I'm
Absolutely.
blue in the face. And I sent you a private message. I don't want to be the party pooper, but we got to be out by 8:30. So
Oh,
because I
okay. Yeah.
have to do something at 8:30, like no way out of it. So
Hmm.
if we want to get to the draft talk, I'm skipping my Tua so you can get to your draft questions.
Absolutely. And that's kind of why I said that.
Yeah, exactly.
But we know each other, don't we?
Yes,
But
we do.
okay, so let's get to the draft talk just a little bit. We're not, look, I'll be honest with you guys. I have no clue about the draft.
Hmm.
I don't research it. I don't study it. I only know what the experts tell me, right? What the experts, put out there and stuff. And when I mean experts, I mean a lot of us folks that are on these podcasts are a lot better at the draft and mock drafts. Rob, you're a lot better than I am. I'm just totally ignorant when it comes to that. But I will give you what I think that the Miami Dolphins need. I don't know if they're going to draft that specific positions, but I think we need impact players. I think we need an edge rusher, not necessarily in this order. I think we need an edge rusher, and I think we should get a big-bodied wide receiver. That's my take.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that I know a lot of folks, oh, we need a defensive tackle. Oh, we need an offensive line. Tua needs protection. Look, when you're throwing the ball out in 2.5 seconds, you don't need a whole hell of a lot of protection, right? And that's what this offense is, how it's designed, how it's created, tailor made for Tua, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So, in my opinion, we need edge rusher, a big bodied wide receiver. Those are my two biggest needs. We can go for a big bodied running back, power back. We got Chris Brooks. We don't know. We got a small sample size on him, so we don't know. But I like what I've seen thus far of Chris Brooks. Maybe he could be that guy. Then I think we need. I think we need maybe another safety, right? I think we're going to need another safety, and maybe even a cornerback. Tackle, we got plenty of tackles on this roster right now that I think will be has the potential, maybe not to be a Christian Wilkins, but he will be a very good piece to complement Zach Sealer. That's my take. So, Shake, how about you?
I agree. I kind of echo what you're saying about we need a big body receiver. The guy from Daniel, I forgot what's his name, the receiver from LSU,
Thomas.
something Thomas.
Yeah.
I would love to get something
I
like
forgot
him.
his first name, but I've
Yeah,
heard
you
the
know
name.
him.
Brian Thomas.
Brian
Ryan
Thomas. Okay,
yeah,
I've heard
I
the
would like
name.
something like him. And everybody talks about tight ends, but at the end of the day, I don't think we utilize tight ends as pass catching targets. But I mean, I wouldn't mind another tight end, a true number one tight end. Because look, I'm a big Durham Smythe fan, and I love the fact that he's done everything he's been asked to do. But if you're looking at it from a realistic standpoint, he's a number two tight end. He's not a true number one tight end like your Kittles and your the Kelseys, whatever.
Right.
He's not to that caliber, but he's in that number two range where he could complement one of those guys. You know what I mean? If you have one of those true number one tight ends, he'll be your complementary. If you want to run 12 personnels or goal line packages, him as a number two would be the ultimate. That would be a great thing to have. Him, your number 2 and Durham Smythe. So I think tight end is something they should address, and if they do address, hopefully we use them a lot more than we did last year.
Got you. Crypto, what's your take on that? The draft. What are our needs?
I'll say. Can you hear me?
Yes, got you loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say this. I think we need to get that long snapper out of NC State. And that without that guy, we go absolutely nowhere, Steve.
I hear you, man. We got a lot of holes to fill. I got you.
Listen, I told you, I told Crypto a million times they're gonna franchise tag Blake Ferguson next year. So
yeah, there you go.
Okay, since we franchise tagging him, I'll go with the defensive tackle in this draft. I'll go with the D tackle or tackle. Tackle slash center,
I got you.
A guard slash center, I'm sorry. But
okay.
Yeah. O-line or D-lineman. I want to go defensive interior.
Okay, so you want to go trenches in the trenches. I got you.
Yeah,
all right.
For the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys covered everything. You covered all the positions. To me, offensive line still ranks a little high just because I saw how bad we got on the offensive line once Body started going down last year, and a couple of the guys that we're counting on are known not to last the season. Isaiah Wynn never lasts the season, and Teron Armstead never lasts the season. So I wouldn't mind seeing an all offensive line.
Rob, don't worry about it, man. You worry about the O line too much.
I know exactly.
Didn't you hear what Chris Greer said?
All I know is that exactly. We just need whoever they pick. If they just stand pat for the 2 picks, they need 2 impact players. They can't have a Cam Smith that doesn't have any contribution in his rookie year. Can't have a Channing Tindall that we're still waiting for, to do something. You just need you need to get guys that can come in and play. I'm not even saying starters because if they're an edge, he may not be a starter, but he's going to come in and play when he's needed. So that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, can I address something real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say because there's some people in the chat was under the impression that you can't check out late. Yes, you can. It's called Omaha 5 Dog Red Blue Falcon 19. Anything that's short abbreviation, everybody know the change, the snap card, just in 3 seconds, just by coded 3-second language that you can do. You know the snap count, you know who the play is, the depth of the wide receiver, and everything. Just by making those barks out. When Peyton says Omaha, you don't think that's a play call change? Everybody that he knew about on it when he was yelling out that. Yeah, it's very easy. And plus, the motion don't mean nothing. You just stop your motion because you just changed the play right there in the moment. And Joe Gibbs used to run similar offense with a lot of motions when the Washington Redskins back in '83 with Mark Rippon, Doug Williams, and the posse with Art Monk. They ran a lot of motion. And trust me, Doug Williams and Mark Rippon had commanded that offense, and they changed a lot of plays at times. So it could be done even with a lot of motion in your offense.
I agree. And with that, Crypto, I appreciate that. Shake Money, thank you very much for joining us tonight, brother. I appreciate that. And Crypto, real quick, can you tell us where they can watch you again, catch you at?
Yeah, well, I'm on Larry K, a Fanatic Fury fan. That's one channel you can catch me on, and the other one is this one right here, TFTG, the Fins Tailgate.
All right. Sounds great. Crypto, thank you, brother. Appreciate you joining us tonight. I really do.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, anytime, man. You can join us anytime, man. We'll probably have you guys back on again soon here. So
Yeah,
we
for
appreciate it
sure.
sometime after the draft. Rob, again, thank you,
We
brother.
appreciate it,
Appreciate,
Rob.
yeah,
Steve.
No, thank you guys. Thank you for coming on. It was really cool stuff.
absolutely.
So,
And thank you again, Rob. Appreciate you
All right.
producing and Chief Cook and Bottle Office.
Yeah, exactly.
washer
It's all
there.
good, man. It's
I
all good.
appreciate you.
I can't
All right,
complain.
guys.
All right.
Yep.
Later, guys.
All right, later,
Thanks,
guys.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks up, everybody.
remember, Dolphins
Dolphins
number
number
one,
one,
baby.
baby.
Dolphins
Dolphins number
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 one.
one.